About a year ago, I came up with the idea of mounting my trim router to my drill press in order to make wooden rings, and developed a process where you can make some really nice rings. I posted a few videos on how to do that if you want to learn. But recently, I got the idea that rather than bringing your trim router to your drill press, that you can bring the drill press to your table router to make rings more easily. So, I designed and built this tabletop drill press that turned out to be way better than I thought. It's actually a very accurate and repeatable machine for drilling holes and making rings. So this is a video on how to make your own tabletop drill press. Alright, so here's what you're going to need for this project. First off, you're going to need, obviously, a drill, and I recommend that you get a hammer drill like this one that has one of these handles attached to it, because it's got this hub here and this flat spot that allows you to get repeatability in the seating of the drill, because this design allows your drill to be removable so you can use it for other tasks. You're going to need a hose clamp. This is a pretty large hose clamp that I cut down. You're going to need a spring for the sides here. I removed this spring to show you. And then you're going to need some low profile full extension drawer slides, and I got these from Rockler. They're the 10-inch kind, and they cost me $8. You may want to get larger ones if you want to use this as a regular benchtop drill press for more travel than what I have. And of course, you're going to need some plywood. So let's get started. First thing you do is determine the width of your drill on your table saw, and then rip a few pieces of plywood to that width. Next, what you want to do is you want to take your hole cutting bit and find the diameter of the hub and make a few test cuts to make sure we have the right width. Okay, I made a test cut in this pine, and it fits. It fits great. There's no slop in there at all. Now I'll mark where I want the back to go. And on the opposite side of the same piece, I'll mark about how high I want this to go, just to about the level of the trigger. And just to temporarily hold it together, I'm going to just put some hot glue until we can screw it. This is hold it together temporarily. Alright, so as you can see, I put a little added bracket in there for extra support, since I'm not using any sort of joinery like dados on this to make it strong. Okay, so the sides are going to go about right here. Okay, there we go. Now I'll hot glue this in place to basically temporarily clamp it down until I screw it. Now it's time to install my hold down, which is basically a hose clamp that I cut and drilled holes in. Now, if we've done it right, we should be able to tilt this forward. It doesn't move at all. Alright, so now it's time to start making the back. Alright, so now it's time to install our drawer slides. And as you can see, I've put lines on here. This is at 3/4 inches with my Incra. And this is about the same, a little less than 3/4 inches. And we're going to go ahead and mark for drilling our holes. Install a tapered head screw into this non-adjustable hole, and then in this hole we're going to put a pan head screw so that it'll allow me a bit of adjustability. Alright, we'll do the same thing with this part of the slide. Alright, now that we got that done, we can go ahead and start assembling it to make the rest of our base. Okay, there we go. Because I want the base to be really rigid and strong, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue 2 of these pieces of Baltic birch plywood together here. Alright, I've trimmed these up a little bit, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make sure it's all square to my table. This is a very flat table with my square, and then I'm going to attach these legs. That's square, that's square. Alright, it's all perfectly square. So if I glue these legs on with it in this position and then screw them after it's glued, hopefully my drill will be nice and square. It's clamped, recheck it. Still perfect. Alright, now it's time to put these on. I've already made sure that it's the right width for this to fit in. I'm going to just glue them, nail them temporarily. I picked up these springs from Sears. I'm hoping they're the right weight here. Install that. Pretty good. Alright, so we're just about done here. Now we're going to make a handle, and as you can see there's a gap here about a 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch plywood is going to cover that gap, and then we're going to mount this using some beefy screws here and a washer. We're going to mount that to this and mount it to the side, and then this is just a circle that I cut with my hole cutting bit, and I'm going to glue that here, so it's going to rest on here and make it nice and smooth. Alright, so after a bit of playing around, moving this up and down, I found where the best spot is, where it's going to be the most comfortable and best place to mount this. So what I'll do at this point is I will glue this on here, we'll glue this to here, and then screw it on, and then we're just about done. Alright, so I glued these on, they're dry, and I decided that I think glue is going to be enough for this. It's going to be a pain to screw it on there too, because I would have to get a right angle adjustment bit, but I think the glue should be just fine. We'll glue that on, then I will screw it after the glue dries. I decided to go low tech with the switch here and use a piece of Velcro and this is variable speed, so I can adjust the Velcro to whatever speed I want. And then for an on-off switch, I have this remote switch here. And this goes in here, and this here, and so now I moved it over to the flattest surface I have in my workshop, which is my table saw, and we're going to check it for square. In the front to back, it's perfect. But when I check it from side to side, it's off, which is unfortunate because I've got the ability to adjust these drawer slides back and forth to correct for this way, but this direction, I screwed up putting these legs on. So there's always a fix for something, so we're going to go ahead and shim up the side here with playing cards until we get it just right. And that's perfect. So whatever this is, we'll make a shim. So I'm a little over a 1/16 of an inch. I'll just lock this down. Alright, the best way to do a thin rip like this is on your bandsaw. I'm going to set the fence here. Let's see if we got it right. And that looks perfect. Absolutely perfectly square. Now I'm going to demonstrate to you how well this works. I've chosen a particularly difficult task of drilling through this 2.5 inch hard maple bench top, drilling a bench dog hole with a 20mm bit. And this will give you a little demonstration of how well this design works. It works really well. So as you can see, here's how to make yourself a homemade drill press that performs well even at difficult tasks. Really wasn't that difficult to build, and it works great. So please post any comments in the comment section, and thanks for watching.